Hello everyone, so I'm just here to share a really weird, very real feeling experience slash quote unquote dream that I had this morning. I was in this building with about, I don't know, I think there was 9 people, and I was saying their names, and I feel like these people, I've crossed their paths in my physical waking reality, because some of them looked familiar, and some of the context is literally my life now. The commentary, the words shared, and whatever. But basically, it felt like we were in the Matrix. It was like, okay, we have to get from this room, and we just keep walking and go over there, and we have to stab the people in the heart or the third eye in order for him to go poof. And so we were in some game, and I'm not sure if one person was survive, all of us were survive. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to kill all of these men, these white men in these glasses that look like the Matrix people. But they would pop in. They would the frequency would change, and if you closed your eyes and if you opened them clearly, you could see the shift in the frequency of the air, I guess. And these things just zoop, and then they started. I think this happened in Matrix too. Then they started taking the place of the people that already died that we aren't sure that they died in this building space because we were all in different rooms. And so, uh, long story short, I was like, oh, where'd Marianne go? And all of a sudden, I look and I was like, I don't have a weapon. So I pulled out this straw and there was a silver fork in it. And there's a fork. I'm like, I guess this is my weapon. And because I knew that one of the glitches was about to happen, so I just grabbed anything. And I was like, "Where's Marianne?" And then we look, and there's this window, and she's stepping forward. So I know that it's one of these bot things, these interweb whatever things that just took over her body. Because I watched her also vanish, and the thing looked and then looked right at me into my eyes and just stepped forward, had no soul yet tried embodying a soul. And I stabbed it in its heart, and it the fork bent, it didn't even. I was like, uh-oh. And at the same time, she had put her hands on my wrist where my pulse would be, and I felt this very gentle breeze move up my arm and in my lungs, and it was my lungs froze, and everyone's looking at me wondering if this is how I die, what's happening. And I literally couldn't breathe, and I'm staring at them, and I'm telling them, I'm like, make sure you tell Kevin, make sure you tell Kevin, who's my fiance now, that I'm okay, even though I had no idea where the fuck I was going. But my lungs froze and I couldn't breathe. And I, in the dream, could not breathe. I was in my mind's eye seeing my lungs freeze. And I was like, what the fuck? So, my life force energy was being taken from me, and she's still holding onto my pulse. And I woke up in this physical reality choking. I couldn't breathe when I woke up. And I didn't have any oxygen to get up and to run downstairs and tell somebody I can't fucking breathe. It was the scariest, most realist feeling. And it's those dreams where you're about to fall, right? Or then you wake up, or you're screaming and no one's hearing you. This one was I can't breathe. And it was really fucked up. And I couldn't catch my breath for a good 15 minutes after waking up. I felt like I was blue in the face, but I couldn't move. I was moving, but I didn't have enough energy to even get up and look in the mirror. And then my phone has been typing on its own. My phone will be down and I stare at it, and the screen is open, and it's making these clicks. I'm watching it and it's making these clicks, and my texts are changing, and it's just weird, and my lights keep going on and off. So I don't know. I don't know. Send help. I think I'm in the Matrix, guys. I mean, I am, but fuck. They got me. all. So this is part 2 to my other video of Shit's Getting Weird, where I had woken up in a matrix dream, choking to death literally for 15 minutes. So I've gotten a lot of responses from that video and people reaching out to me, like letting me know that they were sent here to protect me and all these things and whatever. And so this is so a lot of things started coming back into my awareness that from that dream that I didn't mention. So at the very beginning, from what I can remember, we were all in this room and there was a green phone. Okay. I know there's a movie with like a cell and a phone, but there was a green phone and we were all staring at it. And when it was our time to answer the phone, we had to go down the hallway. And that's when these holographic but very real men in white suits, these beings, started glitching in. And we had to get past them through our own gifts, right? And which was interesting. And then if we were able to escape them or get through, then we went somewhere beautiful, like, or we were able to leave the matrix, leave this space, like, that we've been held captive to. It's like our, like, hey, duty's up, but here's your chance for, like, reincarnation to do something else where you don't have to be on this human plane. It was like that energy. And Mary Ann, who was at the end of that one, who almost killed me, she was sitting next to me, and I remember looking at her, and she kept saying, wow, you're being so nice to me, like, telepathically. And in my head, I remember being like, wow, like, aren't we all nice? If we're all here to get, like, a redo, or not a redo, but, like, to transcend or ascend somewhere else, why is she, like, so it was like my energy was being very kind to her. And so what ended up happening was, it wasn't these beings that we were there to kill with weapons, necessarily like a game. It was a way for us to leave and go somewhere else. And when I had grabbed that fork and stabbed Mary Ann, I knew that it wasn't her. One of those people took her over because they wanted me to stay in that system. They knew that I'd be able to get through if it was just these glitching people versus killing someone that had just told me how kind my energy was for her. So these powers to be didn't think that I would have the heart to kill someone who looked like a human versus noticing they glitched in, right? That's why when I stabbed her, it didn't really work. And I stabbed her in the heart chakra. The closest way to keep us all stuck, the best way, sorry, not the closest, is literally to attack our perception on life and our heart. And so that's what was happening in this dream, other reality of mine. And when I had stabbed her and she grabbed my pulse and was draining my life force energy, and I was still able to tell people, call Kevin, right? Feeling my lungs freeze was my higher self, my consciousness waking me up in this physical reality, you and I, guys, to be like, hey, wake up. Otherwise, this is the way you're going to be trapped in that reality and not be the same in this physical reality. Because when it took so long for me to wake up, it was because they were like squeezing my heart. Like, because I'm so in my heart chakra in my life now, and I have such an open perception. I can see everyone's perspective. That of course I'm a threat to whatever these energies are in another dimension that I'm in, right? So it's super interesting, and it was an emerald green phone, and I remember like watching people like attack these glitched beings and then go poof into this beautiful light. And so it was just like we were in like in a holding cell waiting to like bust free. But we still had challenges along the way. So it's super interesting. I'm still dissecting it. It's still affecting me, but not in the same way it affected me Sunday when I woke up from it because I couldn't breathe. But it's like we are so powerful through our love, so nothing can fuck with us, but it'll try. It'll try. And what I mean by it is fear, lower vibrations. I love you, and more to come, I guess. So